So hi everyone, my name is Tom Wang and my capstone project is titled a Hybrid Recommender for Steam Games. So a little bit about myself, I live in New York, I graduated from Columbia in 2016. I then worked at Walmart e-commerce where my interest in data science was really sparked. And following that, I decided to enroll in the Galvanized DSI program. So for Steam, what is Steam? For those of you who don't know, it's a digital game distribution platform on the computer, and it recently hit an all-time high record number of concurrent users on the platform. And in addition to that, the video game industry is currently surging. A lot of the surge was driven by the global pandemic. However, even before that, there was lots of evidence showing that games were really growing as a form of entertainment. Now, for recommenders, they're actually a major part of lots of different kinds of companies. They're really crucial for helping guide customers toward products that they may eventually spend money on. So for this project, I really wanted to build a hybrid recommender system for all these new users and new products entering the games market. So what is a hybrid recommender? Well, there are basically two main types of recommendations that currently exist out there. The first is content-based recommendation, and that just uses descriptive features about the users or items. For example, what kind of game it is or what kind of user we're looking at. The next one is called collaborative filtering. An example of this is on websites that you'll typically see where it says something like users who liked product X also liked product Y. So one problem that commonly occurs when trying to make recommenders is that there's usually not much information about the users and items to go off of. So hybrid recommender systems actually combine these two systems in a way that handles this problem and in general leads to more robust predictions. So for the data, I used APIs to crawl Steam servers for data on 200,000 users and 1,000 games. I also collected game features data in the form of user-created tags. Some of the examples of the tags are seen here on the right. And this equates to a very sparse data set, but ultimately my hybrid model took these two sets of data you see to generate recommendations for you that I will now demo for you in a Flask app. So this is a website that I've created and I wrapped my trained model in this website so that users could easily interact with it. There's three main functions to the website. So first we'll look at custom recommendations. So here, a user can input games that they know that they like. So I'm just going to come up with a few games that off the top of my head that I want to let's try to get recommendations on. So maybe a game that's in the Star Wars series, for example, and then finally a game in the Civilization series, strategy game. So here, these games are as a user added to the database with these three known likes. And then my system generates recommendations for you based on those known likes. So you can see, because we like the flight simulator, it recommends another plane type of game. And then it also recommends two other games in the Star Wars and Civilization series. Next up, we have view a random user's recommendation. So here, we actually have an existing user that's already in the database. And we then take their top 5 recommended games based on that existing user's data. So we can just refresh it here a couple of times to see something, and maybe this is a good example. This is actually a good example because Roller Coaster Tycoon is a simulation type game, and these are also all simulation games, and you can even see here another Roller Coaster Tycoon game. Finally, I wanted to create some visualizations for this. So I used a machine learning algorithm that is able to take all the features of the games and create a 2-dimensional scatter plot that captures a lot of the characteristics of each kind of game and put them on a map. So here we can type in a string to search up. So for example, we can look up games with the string Call of Duty in the title. And here we're gonna see a scatter plot of all 1,000 games in my data set. And the ones that are highlighted in green are actually all the ones with Call of Duty in their name. So you can see here, because Call of Duty is a very similar franchise, all the games tend to be clustered close to each other based on their features. So as far as conclusions, I was able to create a hybrid model that combines two recommendation systems to make predictions. I have some further steps for this project. I want to host it on my own domain so that users can interact with it, not just locally. And I also want to expand the selection of games so that it can make even more specific recommendations on indie games and free-to-play games, for example. And that's my project.